Is it the 5 or is it just 5?
Just 5.
Just 5. 5 things. We just talk about them, go back and forth. And today we're talking about, last time we talked about 5 technologies that made the world worse. And now we're talking about 5 technologies that made the world better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool.
Or life better.
Life better, yeah. Life, world, both. Yeah, yep. Great. I've got mine ready. Mike, how about you?
Yeah, I've got mine.
All right. You go first today, brother.
All right. Coming in at 5, computers. Just computers in general.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not a huge downside to just computers. We had computers back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And just by themselves, computers are totally fine and they make life better.
Yeah, we've had some computers that have done a lot of great calculations. I mean, like there was computers on both Voyager 1 and 2. You know they still work.
Oh, yeah.
You know that we are in contact with Voyager 1 currently. Like we talk to it like once a day. It takes 24 hours to get a signal to it and from it. Mm-hmm. So it still works. It's still sending out information. It's crazy. What a crazy thing.
Pretty far out there.
Yeah. Oh, it's past the effects of the sun. So it's gone fast. But yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, computers are great. I mean, I like computers, the ones and zeros. It's the other stuff that computers can do that are a problem. But computers, there's nothing wrong with computers.
Yeah. Did you have a computer when you were a kid? Like I had a Commodore 64.
I didn't have a computer until I got into like college. So I had to be like 20 something. I got a Gateway. Gateway started coming out.
Oh wow, Gateway, yeah.
Yeah,
I went to Gateway. I liked Gateway because they had the stores, kind of like Apple stores.
Yeah, I just went there and got a lot of credit, bought computers. Great. It helped me with college.
Right.
Printer and everything. I was able to actually work on my papers. It was awesome.
For whatever reason, like all the kids in my neighborhood growing up, and we lived out in the country, so this is weird, but everybody had a Commodore 64.
Huh. It's not a computer?
And so we all had
I thought it was a gaming system.
It's a computer, but we all had shoeboxes full of 5 1/4-inch floppy disks with pirated games on them.
Yeah, of course.
So that was great. Yeah, we had so many video games. But yeah, you could like program on it and all kinds of stuff. Like it had in elementary school and middle school, I was doing word processing on it. That's how I was turning in my papers. All the other kids were writing stuff on paper.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's basically a computer is basically an on-off 1-0 machine. So as long as it's basic like that, I have no problem with it.
Right. How about you? What's your 5? All
right, number 5 for me is blood pressure monitors.
Okay, yeah.
People like in the 1600s, people figured out how blood worked and stuff like that. In like 1800s, they were able to start monitoring it with like mercury and stuff like that, like pressure and everything else. And so once people realized that your blood had different levels of pressure, then you could understand like all kinds of stuff. Like we were watching The Pit over the weekend, and pretty much looking at blood pressure, looking at temperature, looking at your heart rate. Yeah. That's all they have to go on. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So,
right. I mean, it still seems like it's a pretty medieval technology.
Oh, 100%. Right? Yeah, it's like you put a cuff around your thing and you puff it up and
inflate a balloon.
And I guess it just figures out the different pressure.
And I'm always like, man, you're squeezing my arm so tight. You're raising my blood pressure right now.
I don't know how it works, but it's pretty accurate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I had to go to a doctor for a little mundane bump, and he was like, "Your blood pressure is through the roof," and I was able to get on meds. It's probably saved my life, to be honest with you. I probably would have had a stroke by now. And so, blood pressure monitoring has probably saved countless lives. Just figuring out if you have high blood pressure or not, and trying to treat you for it, or going to a doctor and stuff like that. So blood pressure monitors. I mean, it's a small thing. I was trying to find technology that was a little bit off the beaten path. So blood pressure monitors. Let's thank all those guys who invented that.
No, that's a good one. I'm waiting for my Apple Watch to be able to do that.
Wait, can't you do that now?
Not yet. It's rumored that it's coming.
How would you? You'd have to press on it, right?
They would do it without inflating.
Yeah. How accurate can that be?
Some kind of a camera or something. I don't know.
Well, okay, cool. Right.
But yeah.
What's your number 4?
Bicycles.
Yeah, I get that. That's good. Who invented that?
Yeah, bicycles are great, man.
Do we know?
I want to say the French,
But
I don't know.
one person
I think
had
it
to
was
figure it
definitely
out,
Europe,
right?
somewhere in Europe. Yeah,
Hang on.
I don't know.
So it really makes me mad that one person invents something and we all just say, "Oh, thanks," and just use it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Invention bicycle.
You could probably find out who invented the safety bicycle.
It was Carl von Dress in 1817. No, wait.
So that's like Germany?
I don't know. It's got multiple things. The AI said was, yeah, here it is. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of different people. There's like Louis da Vinci one of Louis da Vinci's pupils.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci's pupils designed one. So it's been so we have different concepts. So it's kind of been invented in different ways by different people. So yes,
let's see.
Yeah. So I guess one person.
So the safety bicycle was invented in the late 1880s.
Yeah, I have something.
That's what we think of when we hear the word bicycle. We just think of the safety bicycle.
Yeah. But there's a couple of different versions and stuff like that. But for the most part, the 1800s. Yeah, it changed everything.
The penny farthing was popular in the 1870s. So it must have been invented before the 1870s.
But it definitely changed our lives. Like without bicycles, we probably wouldn't have cars when we think of them now. And we definitely wouldn't have.
Eugene Mayer of Paris is regarded as the father of the high bicycle.
Imagine how more healthy we would be if we had way less cars and everybody rode a bike everywhere.
The Chinese screwed up, man. They went from a primarily bicycle transportation system to now so many people there have cars.
Well, one of the biggest.
Remember when we used to always laugh at the Chinese for all their bikes?
No, I never did that.
Like in the 80s. Nope. Like in the 80s.
Never laughed at them.
Because their streets were like filled with people on bikes.
Which is where it should be.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of places in the world where bikes are the predominant mode of transportation. Even in China and Japan, stuff like that, they still have a lot of bikes. So like the problem with bikes is that I feel like there's a point in your life where the amount of energy you can put into riding a bike is less than it used to be. And hills, dude.
Oh, sure.
Hills suck. So if you live in a place with hills, it's just not really feasible. Like San Francisco, you can't ride.
That's where the e-bikes come in.
Yeah, e-bike would work.
They help you get up those hills.
I mean, I see a future where e-bikes become far more popular than cars, especially in cities.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I would love an e-bike, to be honest with you, man. That sounds great.
Did you know that the bicycle takes human beings from one of the slowest, least efficient moving animals on the planet and turns us into the most efficient animal on the planet?
Where'd you read that from?
It's like a well-known fact.
If y'all run, I'm pretty efficient. Right?
Not as efficient as if you're on a bike.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I used to ride a bike from my house to the metro station. I would park my bike there and then take the metro to work. I used to do that.
That's awesome.
And it only messed up. It was only like twice someone tried to steal my bike, which is like fine. That's what's going to happen. Right. But then now it's not really an option for me now. Okay. My turn, right?
Your turn. Yeah. Number 4.
Modern pharmaceutical birth control, and that includes pharmaceutical abortions as well. The ability for a woman to control when and how and if she has a baby changed society completely. It's changed the society more than we actually think. Because I know you've heard.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Yeah, you've heard about the.
It's huge for women's independence.
It not only so it's allowed women to become more educated because they can actually go to college, get a degree, and then get a job. It's allowed women not to get married because they don't have to, and so our birth rates are lower all over the world. And there's
which is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. And there's studies that said that we're probably going to peak at like 10 billion humans. And then we're going to start going down once third world countries start using birth control more.
When are we going to peak?
It's
got to be
2050.
Soon, right?
I think we're going to peak, and then because we're going to run the resources will be maxed out, and then after that we're going to start going down, and then probably like 2100. It's going to go all the way down to way down to like 2 billion at some point. So like at some point, human beings will have like 2 billion people on the planet because like birth control is going to be so functional. Like it's like, I mean, not everybody wants to have a kid. So some people really want a kid, but some people really don't. And so
and they shouldn't be forced to.
They shouldn't be forced to. That's exactly right. And so Martin birth control, like mifepristone for abortion and stuff like that, but also like there's so many other ways for women to take birth control now. Like they got the thing in the arm that lasts 6 years. They got like pills they can take, the pill itself, but it's so many
copper.
The IUDs. Yes, there's also non-copper IUDs. This is like ridiculous. This is so many different ways. And like if you want, like you have to actually want to have a kid Like if you don't want to have a kid, you have to.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, it's possible for you to have to want to have a kid to have a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
there are people that just they're not thinking about it.
Yeah, the birth control is still not 100% effective. Like it's like 99 or something like that.
Right.
But still, I mean, modern birth control has changed society more than I can.
Oh yeah, for sure. My number 3 is the internet.
Now, what?
This was a repeat. So the internet is also on my list of 5 technologies that have made life worse.
Yeah.
It was number 2 on that list. So on the technologies that have made life better, it's one rank lower.
Mm-hmm. You said intranet.
Internet.
Oh, I thought you said intranet. It's different. No. It's a difference, right?
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, internet.
Okay.
Internet.
All right. Why is the internet a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, things that it enables good things to happen that were never before possible. You know, you and I met over the internet. True. We can play games together over the internet. True. We're like we live in different states. We're not in the same house, not in the same neighborhood, not in the same city, and we can play games together over the internet. Access to factual information is so much easier to get to and more widely distributed with the internet.
True.
Like people can get connected to other people. So like people that are working towards like some high, like huge goal that humans have set out for themselves can work together on that problem better over the internet. Like, used to be if you weren't in the room working on the problem, you weren't working on the problem. And now they can get everybody across the planet to contribute,
Yeah, if you use the internet like it was actually designed to be used for and not all this real stuff.
If you're not like using all the dark patterns and things, it's great.
100%. Like it was designed to be a form of communication. But then, of course, corporations found
if you're not using algorithms that are designed to pit people against each other and to only show you information that you react to strongly, either because you agree with it or because you hate it, But if you're just using the internet kind of the way people thought about it when it was first created, it's great.
100%, I agree with that 100%. I wish people would do that. That would be nice.
Yeah.
My number 3 is the airplane.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. The airplane is an amazing invention. It allows people.
I think the airplane eventually solves racism.
It could. I mean.
You know what I'm.
Yeah,
what
people
I mean?
travel. They meet different people. I understand that. And
also, like long enough into the future, with people not limited to continents, like human beings are all going to be a shade of light brown.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's lots of xenophobic people who are really pissed off about that. Yeah, without a doubt.
Right.
Yeah, so you are correct on that. The air travel, the ability, like it would be impossible for me to go to like let's say Hong Kong if we didn't have planes. I mean, I could get on a boat; it would take a while.
Right.
But the fact that I could go on a plane, I could get there in less than a day is amazing. I mean, Airplanes still pollute. I'm still waiting for airplanes to get a little bit more environmentally sound.
Right, yeah, they are huge polluters.
Yeah.
It would definitely be nice to solve that.
Yeah, but they're relatively safe. I mean, like as long as you know what you're doing.
Up until recently, the safest form of transportation.
Yeah, if you actually take care and use
when you have an FAA that functioning and stuff like that. Yeah,
if you had FAA who actually cared about people and didn't kill people randomly, and 100%. But yeah, I mean, without airplane, I mean, I've traveled so much and done so many different things through airplanes. I mean, it's not the most comfortable way to fly.
Yeah, like I never would have been able to go to Europe without an airplane.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and so I mean, you might be right. It might stop racism. That's actually something interesting to think about it.
On a long enough time scale.
On a long enough time scale, it might change racism for the better. But there's always going to be different levels of racism. Like there's going to be, you are the big nose people versus the small
there will be
nose
something
people.
other ism.
Yeah, there's always an ism. There's always going to be a reason for humans to hate each other.
You live on this side of the line.
Yeah. You don't fly. Oh, yeah, that kind of stuff. But airplanes are like when
you're a Westerner, we're Easterners.
Like you have to be dead in your heart to not be amazed when you see a plane. Like everybody I know, when you see a plane flying, everybody looks up at it because it's absolutely amazing. Like a little weird physics rule, very weird physics rule allows that thing to go up in the sky. It's just like, okay. That's fun,
and it's heavy, really
heavy. But like just the ability for it to use wind and what's the physics rule? It's I studied it in school.
Is it the Bernoulli
effect? That effect. Yeah, that little rule allows that plane to go just fly around. So it's pretty amazing. Airplanes are modern feats. Change the
Have you heard about the airplanes that would basically they would go up into space or to the edge of space and then come down at the destination. So instead of flying mostly horizontally, it would fly mostly vertically. Yeah. So it would just go up, touch space, and then come straight down. Is it faster at the destination? It would be faster.
Why don't we do that? It probably takes a lot of energy.
I think it takes a lot of energy to get up.
Yeah. It takes a lot of energy to get all the way up there. But
right. But it would be much faster if we did.
Maybe we'll do that in the future. I play a video,
and maybe we can make it more efficient.
I play a video.
What we're doing today.
Yeah, I play a video game, Das Ex Machina or Das X, where the main character got on one of those planes, and it said, "Okay, we're gonna go straight up to the atmosphere and then shoot you right down. We'll be there in an hour." I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
What's your number? Okay. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is plumbing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you there's no downsides to plumbing.
That's true.
Getting up to my number 2 and my number 1, there are no downsides to these.
Now, are you talking about?
I challenge any of our listeners to come up with a downside.
Plumbing involves water, but also the toilet. Are you talking about all plumbing, or are you talking about just the toilet?
I'm talking about running water.
Okay. I would actually put the toilet up there by itself. But yeah, water.
Toilet's really good, but running water,
inside your house,
disease. Yeah, so much lower disease.
Imagine our ancestors 1,000 years ago, and we push a button, we open up a valve, and water comes out. They're like, "What in the world?
Right,
you guys have captured the gods,
and we can get hot water too.
Yeah, you've captured the gods. You have water in your house." And you hit a switch and light comes in here and you're not freezing cold all the time. Like, what is this? Yeah.
Right.
100%. Yeah.
But just imagine, you have to go outside your house to an outhouse to use the bathroom because you don't have running water.
And that's what makes me even more mad is of course, people have heard of Flint, Michigan, but there's places in America, not third world countries, in America, where clean running water is not guaranteed. And that is just the worst thing in the world. You don't know how much you depend on water until the water's off today. And okay, I can't do anything, And buildings
that was a huge problem in Asheville after the floods.
Yeah.
They didn't have water for weeks.
And do you know that if your building's water's out, that building can't function? One time the water came out and one building was out of water on our campus at college I work at, and they closed the whole college.
Yeah.
Because that one building, the water was out. And like that's how important it is. Like you have to have basic plumbing,
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. We take it for granted too, man.
Yeah. I mean, hugely take it for granted, but yeah, it solves so many problems, and it's just like the convenience, man.
Yeah,
I don't have a stream running by my
no.
house. Like if we
Yeah.
didn't have plumbing, where would I get my water?
Yeah, we had to stay close by, didn't we? You had to stay close by to the streams and stuff like
Right.
that. Wow, crazy. How did they do it back I guess they just walked to the stream and got a bucket of water?
Well, they would have it like I guess if you were lucky, you'd have a well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And a bucket on a rope.
Yeah.
But once you're piping that water out of the well, that now you're plumbing.
Yeah.
So
wow, crazy. Absolutely
yeah.
crazy. All right, number 2?
Number 2.
The typewriter / word processor.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a personal story for me. I actually learned how to type in high school. I had one of the best typing teachers you could ever imagine. She was like...
I learned how to type by playing Zork on my Commodore 64.
You didn't take a class?
No. So my typing is... I'm pretty quick at typing, but it's totally...
It's not home keys?
It's a non-standard form of typing.
Oh.
I can touch type.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm using I don't even know which fingers I'm using to do it, but I don't type this the normal way, but it's just because I've been typing on a computer ever since I was in elementary school.
Hey man, whatever you need to do. I learned how to type in high school. It was a really hard class. I think they made us learn. I think everybody had to take it, and it's one of those skills. Of course, because of my job, I use it every day.
Right.
And like every time I type, I'm appreciative that I learned how to do it, because it's like I am able to put words down on a page and communicate faster and more efficient than someone who can't. And like I think about this a lot, like students.
Yeah, I don't think they offer typing in my kids' school.
I think that some places do, but I think you can actually take. It's like you have to sign up for it or you have to ask. Because I know some students can type and some don't. But if you don't know how to type, you're in a disadvantage, especially on a college level class. Like I don't know how you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
And so like,
well, Capcom back in the day had a game called Typing of the Dead, where they took like one of their zombie shooter games, with like the light guns, and then they turned it into a typing tutor. I wish they would like bring that back out so I could have my kids play that to learn.
Do they not know how to type?
They don't know. They don't have a formal way of typing, and they weren't doing what I was doing, which was playing like text games.
Wow. Well,
at age, 8 or 9 or whatever.
Yeah. I remember that I think someone gave me a word processor when I was in community college, because before I had to use I don't know. I think I had.
Oh, dude, I thought I was so cool when I had Word on a.
Oh yeah. Well, I went from a typewriter, clack 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 clack, to a mechanical word processor that wasn't a computer, but it was kind of like it. It had a little digital screen.
It's like a little, like you can see like one line of text.
And you pop it in, and then you hit print, and it would come out. And then I graduated to my gateway computer, and after that, writing the paper was a hard. Like I had to, clack, 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 clack. Use the tape to fix the mistake. Tap, 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 tap. It was hard. So yeah, I'm very appreciative of the ability to actually use a computer to write. It's just amazing.
Did you ever use one of those typewriters where the letters were on a ball?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so you could pop the ball off and put another ball on and get like a different typeface. I thought that was so cool at the time.
Yeah, it is cool. Like they actually make mechanical keyboards. So if you ever like that feel of it, you can actually buy them. It's like kind of expensive, but they're actually mechanical.
Yeah, I know people get into that. I don't really, I don't care about my keyboard that much. I just use the one that Apple gave me.
I'm thinking about.
I mean, I like the looks of those keyboards. They're very cool, but they are expensive.
I type so much that I need a keyboard that feels good, and I know I can trust it every time. I can't. Right. I do too much work on it. So yeah, hats off to the typewriter. It's amazing. All right, here you
go. My number 1 is electricity.
Is that an invention or discovery?
It's a discovery. It's a technology. So, like the technology to harness electricity.
Okay, that's better. All right. Okay.
Electricity exists, but like it's the technology we have to.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Harness, to generate, to transmit, to distribute. to use electricity.
Is it still a thing that we generate power, but most of it's wasted as it travels to us? Was that not?
I think so.
Like, was 90% of energy is wasted?
I don't know if it's 90% because I know that like air conditioners are getting really, really efficient these days, and I don't know if they're measuring like that sort of loss, but like heat pumps are, I think, in the 90%.
Oh yeah, heat pumps are super efficient right now. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, and like cars, electric cars are so much more efficient than combustion engine because a combustion engine, most of the energy's lost is heat.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. Most of the energy that's created by a combustion engine is lost as heat. But with electrical car, almost all of it goes to the wheels. So, but yeah, man, electricity's cool.
Yeah, man. Like I can't. First of all, I can't imagine.
Wouldn't have computers or the internet without electricity.
We wouldn't have anything. I just wish that we had more efficient ways of generating electricity. I feel like we take it for granted, of course, but
I think we do. It's just we've got established companies that are fighting against the better ways of generating.
I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Like solar's the ultimate.
Yeah, solar's the best.
Solar's just hitting us every day. You can harness it locally. You don't need to transmit it long distances the way you do with conventional electricity. Like all this high tension wires that we have. The things that look like the Eiffel Tower. And that's because your power plant is very far away from where the people that are using the power are. So you have to have those huge high tension wires to transmit the electricity. But with solar, you could have a solar farm right on the outskirts of your city, or solar farms right on the outskirts of your city, or intermixed with your city, and then you don't have to have those huge transmission lines.
I am looking forward to us finally using like nuclear fusion or fission without exploding. Like once we get to that level, I think we'll be okay. Like that's where
cold fusion is the if we could figure that out.
Yeah, once we figure it out and we know it's not going to blow things up or it's not going to waste a lot of resources, then that's where we're going. I don't know why we don't spend more time putting those up in space. We can put like a nuclear reactor in space, and then like have a big cable coming down to the ground, and that's where we get our energy from. Because
if
it blows up,
could do that. If we could combine that with a space elevator,
yeah, we can do that. We can make space elevators. Cool. That's something we could do. We just don't want to do it. Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah,
that would look super cool.
What, a space elevator looks really cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, why haven't we made a space elevator yet?
No. There's not that many people going to the space station.
That's true. Okay, cool. My number one invention has transformed the lives of everyone it touches, that we cannot function without it, is the refrigerator.
Okay.
The ability to buy food, store it.
Couldn't have a refrigerator without electricity.
Okay. I'm not saying mine's better than yours. Okay. I'm just saying that's.
I'm not comparing. I'm just reiterating that electricity.
Electricity is awesome, but the refrigerator is awesome as well. The refrigerator is pretty cool.
Yes.
I mean, like you can just put food in there, man. Close it, and it's going to last a while, and you're fine. I mean, stuff's still spoiled. Right. I have some milk that's in there spoiled right now, which is just a problem. But for the most part, you're good to go. Like I don't know how we did it before. Like what did we do? Like what did we do? Like
you can buy milk that's like ultra pasteurized.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Like it lasts for weeks,
over a month.
Yeah, it lasts forever. Yeah, ultra pasteurized milk will last you forever. Yeah, I need to buy that more often. To be honest with you, I tend to buy the other stuff, but ultra pasteurized is the best thing. Yeah, because like I usually make it for bacon and stuff, so that's what I use it for. But I guess...
Dude, what? Oh, yeah. You said baking. I thought you said bacon.
No, baking. But back in... When I lived in Wilmington...
I was like, what are you doing with milk and bacon?
Yeah, when I lived in Wilmington, North Carolina, there was a big... I think it was open for a while, but then closed. But it was an ice shop that you could go and get ice. I guess that's what
Oh, yeah.
we used to get ice and then and then put it in our ice boxes and like close the lid, and that's how we kept things cold. Yeah,
that was the refrigerator. Yeah,
yeah. I bet they were pissed when the refrigerator was made. You're like, oh fuck,
Yeah, the ice factories. Yeah.
You know what? I like
ice houses. There's a building in the town that I live in right now that was the ice house for the town.
Yeah, that's what you got.
There's a Italian restaurants moving into it right now.
How do they make ice?
That's a good question.
Maybe I should put that. Anyway,
I guess they had some sort of refrigerator, like I don't know, like a big, massive, steam-powered, coal-fired refrigerator, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You know what I like? I like refrigerators where the freezer is at the bottom, which makes sense.
I like those too. My wife does not like.
Well, that makes sense. It doesn't make any sense to have the freezer up top because hot air flows up. So why would you put hot air flowing into your freezer? It makes no sense. It's dumb. Like, it needs to be at the bottom.
I like refrigerators that are counter depth instead of sticking out past the counter.
Huh?
Counter depth refrigerators.
What are you talking about?
So most refrigerators are deeper than a kitchen countertop.
Okay.
I like refrigerators that are limited to the depth of a kitchen countertop.
That's not. It ain't gonna hold anything.
It holds less stuff, but what happens to all the food at the back of your refrigerator?
I don't know.
You forget about it, and it goes bad.
Maybe. I know.
With the counter depth refrigerator,
once a week,
I can reach my arm all the way back to the back of my refrigerator. I can see stuff back there. I waste way less food with the counter depth refrigerator than I did with the other one.
I want a refrigerator the size of a wall. I want a refrigerator 10 by 10. You
want your kitchen to look like a convenience store.
When I walk into it, I won't be able to walk into my fridge. Oh, right. I want to walk into my fridge.
I would love that.
Yeah.
You know the beer fridges?
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I love going.
Yeah, I want to walk into my fridge.
Hot summer day with a t-shirt.
Yeah, I want to walk into my fridge. Yeah. I want a butler's pantry, and I want a walk-in refrigerator.
I'm with you on the walk-in refrigerator.
Is that too much to ask? I want to see if they make those, man. Hang on. I'm going to check. Let's see. Walk-in fridge. I guess. Let's see. For home.
Yeah.
Oh, they kind of do. Oh, like $12,000.
No, that's too cheap.
Yeah,
it's got to be more than that.
Yeah, no, I don't see one. No, they don't really make it for domestic. No, there's one here.
There's like 12,000s. Those that's like those high end.
Yeah, what is this? This is a weird fridge. It's like okay. Oh, okay. This fridge is massive, but it's not walk-in. It's just like I'm not sure what this is. They don't make a walk-in fridge for regular people.
That would be cool.
Yeah, come on, get on it. All right. Well, that
would be some Bill Gates shit.
Yeah, I'm sure he has one.
Yeah.
Well, is that a 5, Mike? We're good.
That's 5.
That is our top 5 things that have made our life better. Mike, how can people use electricity in their computers to get this list out to their friends and family?
Yeah, hit the share button. It'll use electricity and the internet and the computer, which we all talked about. We talked about all those things today. Hit that share button. Use all 3 of those things. Send your friends that like technology a link to the podcast. Say, hey, this was pretty cool. I learned something about bicycles. I learned something about plumbing. I learned something about refrigerators. Check it out.
Yeah, I was going to put the record player or recording music on there, but I didn't. But I should have. Honorary mention,
sound reproduction.
Yeah, honorary mention of sound recording, because that changes everything.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.